What's up, everyone? How you guys doing today? Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I see this story coming from APNEWS. QAnon has receded from social media, but it's just hiding. People are nuts. Where's QAnon? They came, they saw, they conquered, and they left us. We've banned them all, but we don't know where they are. It's almost like big tech censorship is like, oh crap, where are they? This is why censorship is stupid. Because when you allow people to have conversations with people who you disagree with, or just fringe conspiracy theories, or just, overall conspiracy theories, you allow them to talk about it. And people from all generations, from all around the world, from all around the earth can jump on the conversation and steer it in a better direction, or just challenge some of the beliefs, or just have fun with it. But instead, you guys are a bunch of freaking boomers, and you decided that you want to censor it. Hey, because that's misinformation. Yeah, a lot of us know a lot of conspiracy theories are misinformation, but that's what makes them fun. Because some of us in our adult years still like to play pretend. What if Joe Biden was actually an alien? Haven't you seen where he's wearing a mask? I've seen those pictures. You can take his mask off and see it. He's a bug underneath. He's like the Men in Black bugs. I believe it. I've seen it. I can feel it. Why else is he losing? But no, you boomers are like, hey, we're going to censor you. But this is from the AP News, and they're a serious organization. On the face of it, this is from the AP. You might think that QAnon conspiracy has largely disappeared from social media sites, but that's not quite the case. Okay? True. You're much less likely to find a popular QAnon catchphrase like Great Awakening, The Storm, or Trust the Plan on Facebook these days. Trust the plan. The storm's coming. The Great Awakening. Facebook and Twitter have removed tens of thousands of accounts dedicated to the baseless conspiracy theory which depicts former President Trump as a fighting hero in a secret battle against a sect of devil-worshipping pedophiles who dominate Hollywood. Yeah, there's no pedophiles in Hollywood. Jeffrey Epstein, what? Big business, the media, and the government. Here's the thing. With all conspiracy theories, there's small truths. And then the conspiracy theory takes it into the direction it wants to go. But we know some truths. So I like how they just say there's no pedophiles in Hollywood. Really? Okay. Gone are the huge Stop the Steal groups that spread falsehoods about the 2020 presidential election. Trump is gone as well. Banned from Twitter permanently and suspended from posting on Facebook until 2023. He's in social media jail. But QAnon is far from winding down. Federal intelligence officers recently warned that its adherents could commit more violence. I love sentences like that. They could commit. They could do anything. Like a deadly Capitol insurrection on January 6th. Why? Who was deadly? Oh, wait. It was the Capitol Police that were the deadly ones. That's not a conspiracy. That's called facts. At least one supporter of QAnon has been elected to Congress. Oh, no. Cliffhanger. Who is it? In 4 years since they didn't even address it. Thank you, AP News. You're just going to throw it out there. I assume we're talking to Majority Taylor Greene, but I wonder who you're actually talking about because you don't actually say it. In the 4 years since someone calling themselves Q started posting enigmatic messages on fringe internet discussion boards, QAnon has grown up. That's partially because QAnon now encompasses a variety of conspiracy theories from evangelical or religious angles to alleged pedophilia in Hollywood and Jeffrey Epstein scandal, said Jared Holt, a resident fellow of Atlantic's Council of Defer Lab, who focuses on domestic extremism. Q-specific stuff is sort of dwindling, he said, but the worldviews and conspiracy theories that QAnon absorbed are still with us. These people are insane. They love this QAnon stuff. They're like, God, we need something to write about. Trump's really... he just filed a lawsuit that's good. Once Trump came back in the news, I went on MSNBC and it was just everywhere. And even Daily Beast today, it was like the first ahead story was about taking down the Trump family. It's all dwindling. God. These people are insane. Seriously. Blue ANoN is a real thing. And these people are losing their minds and they're like, you guys built it up to be something it's not turning out to be, and now I don't know what to do, so now let's just keep the thing going. Let's keep pretending like it's this huge thing that's going to take over the world. Let's continue the article. Loosely tying these movements together is a general distrust of power. Yeah, because we should trust our people in power. The NSA, the CIA, and FBI do great things. They've never done anything to harm Americans, ever. Forever. Often a leftist elite. Yeah, leftist elite. Like the KKK. Among them are purveyors of anti-vax falsehoods. These vaccines are 100% safe. You don't need to consult your doctor. Just talk to Dr. Fauci. Adherents to Trump's big lie that the 2020 presidential election was stolen, and believers in just about any other worldview convinced that a shadowy cannibal secretly controls these things. Dun, dun, dun. For social... I'm just imagining some, like, deranged liberal reading this and just like, oh God, where is this QAnon? My neighbor, he had an American flag the other day. I saw it. I bet he's one. Hey neighbor, are you vaccinated? It's none of my business. Okay. He's one. He's got to be one. I know it. I know he's one. He has to be one. I think he's gonna buy a truck soon too. What color is your truck gonna be? People are nuts. Online, such groups now blend into the background. Where Facebook groups, they now blend. We have to search for them. We must find them. We must look for micro QAnons. Where Facebook groups were openly referred QAnon, you'll now see things like, since you missed this, the so-called MSM, a page referencing mainstream media that boasts more than 4,000 people. 4,000. Imagine. It features links to clips on Fox News, Tucker Carlson. Oh my God. This is so ridiculous. It features links to clips on Fox News' Tucker Carlson. And you know what he's all about. He brings on people like Glenn Greenwald. Ugh. And I've seen people like Jesse Waters on the show. And I've also seen like that one old guy from the Hoover Institute. He's on the show sometimes. And then they post things like Chris Rufo theory. And then they just like do all kinds of stuff. I'm so scared. Tell me more about these groups. And articles from right-wing publications such as Newsmax. And my favorite, The Daily Wire. Owned by the biggest white supremacist known to man, Ben Shapiro. He is the leader of all white supremacy. This is ridiculous. Subjects range from allegedly rampant crime to allegedly rampant crime. I know 100 people were shot in Chicago this weekend, but listen, it's not rampant. Oh, I know, and the week before that was 75, and the week before that was 50. Listen, it's not rampant. You guys are nuts. Lori Lightfoot said it's not rampant, so it's not rampant. To unfold claims of widespread election and outright war on conservatives. Who is on war with the conservatives? It's not like big tech has been censoring those people or banning those people. Or like Biden and some of the other people make mentions to things like, if you're a Trump supporter, you're a white extremist. Or if you just believe that, like when the liberal media just thinks that if you voted for Trump, you're a racist. There's no war on conservatives. No. Such groups aim to draw followers in deeper and by directing them into further information on less regulated sites such as Gab or Parler. These people are nuts. When Differ Lab analyzed more than 40 million appearances on QAnon catchphrases and related terms on social media this spring, it found their presence on mainstream platforms had declined significantly in recent months. After peaks in the late summer of 2020 and briefly in January 6, QAnon catchphrases have largely evaporated from mainstream sites, DFR Lab found. It's almost like the conspiracy is going away. No, it can't be going away. They're hiding and we must find them. So while your friends and relatives might not be posting wild conspiracy theories about, oh my God. Oh my gosh, I love these people. So while your friends and relatives might not be posting wild conspiracies about Hillary Clinton drinking children's blood, they might instead be repeating debunked claims such as vaccines can alter your DNA. The mRNA vaccine! There are several reasons for dwindling Q talk. Trump losing his presidential election, for instance, the lack of messages from Q, but the single biggest factor appears to have been the QAnon crackdown on Facebook and Twitter. Thank God for censorship! Despite well-documented mistakes that reveal spotty enforcement, the banishment of largely appears to have worked. Thank God. It's more difficult to come across blatant QAnon accounts on mainstream social media sites these days, at least from the publicly available data. What are you hiding, government? That does not include, for instance, hidden Facebook groups and private messages. We must unlock everything to know. While QAnon groups, pages, and core content accounts may be gone, many of their supporters remain on the big platforms. How do we know who's a QAnon? What do we do when we find one? I saw my neighbor, I think I just friended him on Facebook, and he posted, like, Happy 4th of July. What does it mean? Only now they're camouflaging their language and watering down most of their extreme tenets of QAnon to make them more palatable. God, this article is ridiculous. These people are deranged. There is a very explicit effort with the QAnon community to camouflage their language. Says Angelo Caruson, the president and CEO of Media Matters. And if I trust anybody, it's Media Matters, a liberal research group, that followed the QAnon rise. So they stopped using a lot of their codes, the triggers, the keywords that were eliciting to the kinds of enforcement actions taken against them. Do not put a capital Q. I wonder if this article will be banned. Where is QAnon? Other dodges may have helped, rather than parroting Q slogans. For instance, for a while earlier this year, supporters would type 3 asterisks next to their name to signal adherence to the conspiracy theories. That's a nod for former Donald Trump's National Secretary Michael Flynn, a 3-star general. 4,000 people are on some Facebook groups. 4,000. I'm scared. Facebook says it has moved about 3,300 pages, 10,500 groups, 510 events. What kind of events? 300 Facebook profiles, 27,300 Instagram accounts for violating its policy against QAnon. We continue to consult the experts and improve our enforcement in response of how harm involves, including by recidivist groups, the company said in a statement. But the social giant will still cut individuals posting about QAnon slack, citing experts who warn the banning of individual adherents may lead to further social isolation and danger. The company said Facebook's policy in response of QAnon continued to evolve. Since last August, the company says it has dozens of new terms as the movement and its language has evolved. What terms? Like conservative? Twitter, meanwhile, says it has consistently taken action against activity that could lead to offline harm. But that's so vague. Offline harm. I know. I think I did like some existential question, and it had like some foundations of like a suicide in some ways, but it wasn't like insinuating to do it, but it was just like you can't even write that word, and they're like, get rid of it. It could lead to offline harm. No. After the January 6th insurrection, the company began permanently suspending thousands of accounts and said were primarily dedicated to sharing dangerous QAnon material. Twitter said it has suspended 150,000 such accounts to date. Like Facebook, the company says its response is evolving, but the crackdown may have come too late. God, this article. Gruson, for instance, noted that Facebook banned QAnon groups tied to violence 6 weeks before it banned QAnon more broadly. That affected gave followers notice to regroup and camouflage and to move into different platforms. Oh no, maybe they'll call themselves Antifa next. If there were a time for a social media company to take a stand on QAnon content, it would have been like months ago, years ago, DF Labs Rizzuto says. And that's the end of the article. Where is QAnon? It's been hiding. You guys are dumb. This article is insane. And, yeah. just going to throw it out there. It's literally the most insane thing I've ever heard. Blue Anon is a thing, and you're seeing more articles like this. Because QAnon has just kind of gone away, and now they don't know what to do with themselves. Because they built this organization, this conspiracy up to be like this credible threat that's going to like be the end of our democracy. I don't know if you remember that one woman on TikTok saying, Republicans, you were the ones in the history books warned us about. You warned us about. And
Come on, man.
Thank you, Joe Biden. But it's just insane. It's literally insane, and there's literally no reason to freak out. And big tech censorship is annoying. They're looking for new phrases. They're not done. My expectation is that soon things like I voted for Trump or Trump supporter or conservative or libertarian, those words will be triggering to social media platforms. And I think it already is, and they do things like shadow ban and stuff like that. They don't, and if you're not liberal, they don't prop you up. Like if you're a liberal channel on YouTube, they just prop you up as like the top suggestion every single time, especially if you pay a lot of money like CNN and MSNBC, and then Fox News comes in a nice third. But again, they're freaking out about not knowing where QAnon is. But this is what happens when you censor people and tell people online, instead of making it a platform where people can just have normal everyday conversations. Like, I have met people that believe in QAnon, and I have talked to them, and it's better to have conversations with people and allow people to discuss these issues than it is to just shut them down and make them look for other ways to hide. Isn't it better to know if an actual Nazi regime is rising? I don't know. Antifa. But isn't it better to know if a regime is rising in the ranks and growing in the ranks out in public than it is to ban them and then wonder where it is and just seeing it show up? It's better to see, hey, we're showing up at this counter protest here, and you're like, oh, good, we'll watch you. It's better. Censorship is never a good thing. It's never, ever a good thing. It's always better if something is stupid or a conspiracy. It's better to educate, and the only way you can educate people or help people or counter their argument or push the narrative or push the ideas is to have open and honest dialogue, and you can't have that with censorship. Thank you so much for listening to this message. This message is brought to you by insane leftists who are still praying that QAnon is a thing. Have a great day.